Welcome back to All About Arsenal. And today we are going to enjoy ourselves this evening because this is another time to talk about those folks that are currently at the top of the table, while those below us are hating. And for those that don't know, yes, this is a Nigerian jersey, but at the background you can see my boys are cooking. And of course, we have Coco in the building, man. If you know, swagged up with his hoodie. What's up, bro?
I do. We're punching weight,
Yeah,
We're
we're
punching weight.
punching with that. I
Yeah.
agree with you, bro. And we also have that Man United fan who apparently had won 3 games in a row, but as soon as he got a draw, the guy went on the meltdown. Ibuka in the building. What's up, brother?
Bro, he's a fraud. I don't know what to say anymore, but Ruben Amorim, nah. It's bad. It's bad enough, right? That's what I have to say now. As in, until when, it's time to talk about the United game, then I'll start going into my rants more and more.
Awesome. Okay, as always, welcome to the Game Week 10 review show. Here we discuss about the Premier League. We've been doing this since Game Week 1, and this is a tradition at this channel. And as always, special thanks to my panelists, good friends of mine, both in and outside the channel for the support and, of course, their analysis. So as always, we would follow the agenda we have for the day. We start with the Arsenal match review, where we discuss about, the Arsenal game and see how the guys cooked. Then we'll talk about our title rivals, see how they are doing right now. And of course, we look at other key results, look at the surprise of the week, have a quick look at the injury watch, have a look at the Premier League table, and of course, we'll go into our predictions. So without further ado, let's jump into the first action of the day, which is the Arsenal match watch. Hey, Mr. Chooks, welcome to the channel, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm seeing my guys. I'm seeing my guys on the
From
ball.
him sent.
My guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So there's no better way to start than, of course, the folks that are fetching their lead at the top. And, at this point in time, it's turning into something else. Arsenal is playing very well, and this was a game that was potentially a banana skin. For those that don't know, Burnley has a very, very good record at home. I think they were unbeaten in their home in the Championship. The only thing I managed to beat them in the Premier League so far this season was Liverpool, and it was the 90th minute penalty by Mo Salah. But teams like Leeds have come here and lost. Teams like Sunderland and other folks have focused and not gotten good results. But let's start with you, Coco. As an Arsenal fan, how are you feeling right now, bro?
Oh well, it's job done. Clean sheet. These days, the package comes with a clean sheet. And you almost see. I mean, the goals are given, but we want to see that clean sheet record being smashed to the roof. So kudos to the boys. I mean, Burnley is not an easy team to play. I think they've beaten City a few times.
Burnley is easy team to play. Please, you guys should stop this team. You guys should stop this team. Like, I had Tony saying that the banana skin. You are saying it's not easy. I don't understand how is Burnley not an easy team to play. Of course, everybody you ask will defeat Burnley. There's no banana skin whatsoever. Although I know for Amorim, it's going to be a banana skin. In fact,
it's going to be a fiery one.
It's going to be an ice rink for Amorim.
But, let's face the fact. I mean, you're playing a Premier League team away. It's never an easy draw. To be able to come up and get the 2-0, right? In a very, I mean, I don't think Arsenal ever lost control of the game. They dictated the game at their own pace. Thankfully, Georg was able to come up with the first goal, which was a set piece, not surprising. And the second goal was a free flow. So I think the team is now giving the world what they want. We'll give you set piece, we'll give you free flowing goals, and then we'll show up our defense and still play attractive football. The consensus is out. The biased reviews or responses to Arsenal's games. I don't think I've watched a boring Arsenal match. Maybe in the beginning of the season when the coach was trying to ensure that his new signings, bedded in well. He was able to do that amicably, and the teams are firing on all fronts. We spread our goals. We spread out our goals. You don't have one man leading the charge and every other person being 2 or 1 goals behind him.
Awesome,
so I'm happy overall.
Awesome.
We look forward to the weekends these days.
Yeah, we look forward to the weekend these days, bro. So, Chooks, let's just talk about something that's quite crazy. In the entire month of October, Arsenal considered only 1 shot on target. And that shot on target was the ball that Nketiah nodded in the air that Raya just cut off his head. And going into November, we have still not considered the shot on target. We're getting to this point now where Arsenal fans are actually getting vexed when a shot comes to our goal, not even the goal itself. Even though there was a moment where Burnley almost scored with a free kick later, but I think it was Marcus Edwards. So what's your take on Arsenal's incredible defense with 15 games played so far and only 3 goals conceded?
I, I think it's testament to the work you've done in the last 2 or 3 windows, right? Where you've not only solidified the core of the defenders, right? You've also gone to bring in credible backup options. So even if your first team players are not playing, you have another back line that is still good enough, to keep those clean sheets. And I just worry that that clean sheet record, the 15 goal conceded clean sheet record, it wasn't a clean sheet record. It was the least number of
Yeah,
goals
yeah,
record, right?
the number of goals conceded,
But
yes.
there's also a clean sheet record that I think Czech also is holding that record.
Yeah, number of clean sheets in a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both records are probably up for grabs now, because 7 clean sheets in 10, and then 3 goals conceded in 10. Those 2 records are up for grabs if Arsenal continue on this trajectory. And yeah, I think you guys are doing so well in that regard, and kudos
Okay.
to you guys.
Ebuka, on the Carabao Cup game against Brighton, Arteta made 10 changes to the squad. And of course, they got the result, which that led them to. So going into this game, the regulars in quotes return to the fold. As it stands now, are there any folks in the bench in quotes that can take over the guys that are currently playing? Because if you think of the fact that we have Odegaard, we have Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, we have Madueke still out injured. When everyone is fully fit, what do you think would be Arsenal's strongest XI?
Okay, so when everyone is fully fit, I think Arsenal's strongest 11 would be the back four and the goalkeeper will still remain the same. But in the midfield, I think the midfield is going to be Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard in midfield. In attack, of course, it's going to be. But I think there might be a change depending on the number of opponents, depending on the opponents they face. Gyökeres or Havertz, right? I think there might be, but then I could say when you look at the defense and the midfield, the best as Arsenal's strongest 11, like I mentioned, is already the current back four, the goalkeeper, midfield of Rice, Zubimendi, and Odegaard. Yeah, Saka got locked. He has the right wing on lock. So I think the only variable positions in Arsenal that are kind of like not fixed yet is left wing and the center forward. The center forward, people are going to say Gyökeres, but it's going to depend on the opponent, right? It is going to, because there are sometimes where you need like Kai Havertz to stretch play and all of that, and there are times when you need Gyökeres to be the focal point in attack. But then, yeah, the discussion comes down to left wing for some time. I think that if Arsenal should be able to go into the market and get someone who could nail down that left wing spot, because currently I would say the left wing spot is you have Martinelli, you have Trossard, Eze could play in there, but no one currently who has actually had it on lock, right? So that's the place I think in terms of first 11, right? That's the only place where I would say, okay, Arsenal doesn't really have it fixed to one person, but every other part of the pitch, yeah, it's probably going to be the guys I mentioned.
Okay, awesome. So, Coco, going into this game, we saw Gyökeres subbed at halftime, and there were some concerns because Arsenal fans were not expecting him to get subbed. This is basically one of his best games he had played for us. But after the game, we learned that he has suffered a muscular issue.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something that can keep him out all the way to the Sunderland game, or will you be wise to rest him against Slavia Prague in the Champions League and use someone like Merino up front? Even though when Merino came on as a sub, you saw how the difference was in the entire game state.
Yeah, Gyökeres was subbed off. I think it was precautionary. We have that strength in depth. that it's not an emergency. Once they probably have emergency response. Once a player has a slight niggle, you take him off. Gyökeres is coming into form, I believe. He's been more effective in that forward role. And I don't think we have much to worry about, especially with Merino coming on and being a bit more of a replacement that is. Merino isn't a striker; he's a midfielder that lumbers in and gets those goals. We shouldn't mistake that. I saw a post from Arteta stating that sometimes it's better for players to be stretched to avoid injury. So I don't think Gyökeres is going to be missing from the next game quickly. I think he's actually going to play. The precaution has been had. There's no post-match release that is suffering, much more than maybe a muscular concern. And Arsenal has the wherewithal to deal with those slight niggles into the next game week. And I think Mikel Arteta will stick to his philosophy and he'll probably play him in the next game because every game is a final, essentially, in this period of time. Um, the team is building on its confidence. The team needs the players that should be in the leading positions, firing on all cylinders. And Gyökeres is one who is a bit late, but is coming to the fore. I mean, he's had what 3 goals in how many games? And the thing about Gyökeres is his ability to impact the game without scoring.
Scoring, yeah.
Last season that was a big problem for Arsenal. There was no focal point up top. The ones we elected to be the focal point didn't really understand the concept of being an attacking player, being beyond scoring goals. Everybody felt that, oh, I have to score a goal to be an attacker or a striker. Sorry, but no, when you are big and you attract their attention, you take the one or the two defenders that would otherwise have been jobless, and you free up your attack, your other forwards, and also the attacking midfielders. So that's why versatility is. Those blocks, those corners, those goals. I mean, Gyökeres is a bigger part player than is discussed, in the Arsenal lineup. So I think Gyökeres is going to be available. If we had Havertz available, if we had, I think Jesus is in training right now, right? Even though I hear that Arsenal have given him the blessings to leave, I don't think his beat is done with the Arsenal team. Jesus was also one of those players that, when he was confident, he could take enough of the defenders with him and free up people like Saka to do their business. So yeah, I look forward to seeing Gyökeres in the next game. I don't expect him to be missing a tangent at the moment.
Awesome. So, Ibuka, let's talk Burnley for a bit. So far, they've been able to get victories against Sunderland, Leeds, and of course, the terrible Wolves. While they lost pretty much every other game besides the draw, they managed to get it, and Postecoglou was still at Nottingham Forest. As at the time of this recording, they are currently 3 points above the relegation side, with just 10 points from 10 games played, with the likes of West Ham, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves behind them. Do you still think that they are still candidates to be relegated this season, or do you think they will have enough in the tank to just finish slightly above the drop zone?
I think, for me, I think Burnley will definitely get relegated. Like you mentioned, who have they defeated so far? They defeated the teams around them in the table: Wolves, Leeds, Sunderland. Sunderland, which was like a championship club last season. So I think those are the 3 wins they've gotten so far. And then against Forest, right? They won 1 draw. So they've played the teams you think they can get those points from, and then now you have to play those Premier League sides who are mainstays in the Premier Leagues, like who were actually in the Premier League last season. So you're not playing a side probably that is down there in the bottom of the table, or sides that were promoted alongside you. You're not playing like the rest of the league, right? And it's going to be really tough because there are some managers who really can't punch above their weight. Like there are some managers I term them championship managers. Scott Parker is one of them. Scott Parker, I think, the only thing he can do with the Premier League side is just to keep them above relegation zone, right? This same look at Bournemouth, this Bournemouth that we're talking about. Scott Parker promoted them, I think, was it 2 or 3 seasons ago. But then I remember when he was complaining, I wasn't giving players. He was just kind of bitching all over the place, and then got pumped by Liverpool 9-0 at Anfield. And then after that, he got the sack. Who came in? Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill kind of like took Bournemouth to stability. Then after that, look at Iraola, right? Iraola is doing great with Bournemouth. So Scott Parker is that manager who is like championship standard, right? I don't think he's like Premier League quality manager. So in their next run of games, I see Burnley definitely getting back into the relegation zone.
Okay, awesome. So Chooks, looking at how Burnley has played so far this season, are there any standard players that come to mind that I can say, okay, yeah, so far, even if Burnley is 17th in the league, Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C have held their own, while the rest of the team have struggled. Any names come to mind?
No core names like maybe the Sunderlands of this world, right? Because I'd have loved to call someone like Foster, but again, he's missed a couple of games. While he was available, I think he was able to score about 2, 3, 4 goals thereabouts, right? And then he got back as well and still nicked a goal in their last two. I don't, no, not this one, obviously, the one before the Arsenal game. So maybe him, maybe someone like Jaden Anthony again, but really, I wouldn't really call them mainstays like that. Just good enough for the club they play for.
Okay, awesome. So finally,
for me, just to
go
mention about Burnley, right? I think the only player in Burnley that I would say is quality, and will probably have a move going into next season from Burnley to as one of the Premier League side is their left back, Hartman. Yeah, really good
Even
player.
Esteva is good too.
No, Esteva is not Premier League quality. Trust me.
He's not Premier. I think he would do well in a stable team, but
he doesn't. Trust me. Like I sit down sometimes and I watch these guys. Esteva is not. He's not that guy, not at all. But like I said, Hartman very good, especially as in dual winnings. Like he wins his duels. He knows how to take on players.
Yeah, and he has a good cross.
He has a very good cross to him, right? So I think he's the only. What I would say Premier League quality player at Burnley at the moment. And then just to add one more thing, Florentino Luis, like he's just a hard tackler. The guy on loan from Benfica.
But is it not on loan from Benfica, or was it a permanent move?
No, on loan from Benfica, and I think he has the highest tackles in the Premier League so far. Yeah, I think he has the highest tackles in the Premier League. So I actually rated Florentino Luis. I think he might do a job at a mid-table Premier League side who's kind of like willing to be on the back foot all the time because he just tackles and tackles and tackles. So I think those are just the two players I would say, are quality in the Burnley side. Aside those, no one else.
Okay, so maybe one more thing on Arsenal before we leave. Coco, what's your take on Gabriel's performances this season? Is he arguably the best defender in the league right now, or are there any other players in the Premier League right now you think are matching what he does in terms of eye test, in terms of performance, in terms of output?
The guy is more than a Rolls Royce. The guy is like a Pagani's Honda. What's that? He's world class. At this moment, he's world class. Gabriel will probably go into any team and take the team. It's just a beauty to watch. He's so fluid. I remember when he joined Arsenal. During the shaky days. I remember
in the trenches.
Exactly. He has really developed his game. There's an assuredness that comes with Gabriel. At the point, there was a time I didn't rate him. My bad. Is come leaps and bounds, and it's probably going to be the reason if Arsenal crosses that dotted line, it's going to be a major reason that Arsenal will win the league.
Okay, awesome.
Goes.
Thank you so much.
It's such a trend.
So just on the Arsenal game, sorry. Fun fact, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, fun fact. Leandro Trossard just made his 100th Premier League appearance for Arsenal. I don't know if anyone's aware of that.
Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the
100 Premier League appearance, and I think he made 116 for Brighton, right? So since 2019-2020. Only two players have made 100 plus Premier League appearances for two different clubs. Leandro Trossard is one of them. Who can guess the other player?
100 appearances in two clubs.
Since 2019-2020.
Since 2019.
Yeah, only two players. Leandro Trossard and who's the second one? Okay, let me give you an idea.
Okay, give us one more hint.
Yeah, he's actually playing in the game tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. So that should be an Everton player if it's tomorrow.
Grealish?
Oh, no, it can't be Grealish. It can't be Grealish.
Is it Gary Barry?
Man, is not playing tomorrow, bro.
No, I think it's Pickford.
No, that's like James Tarkowski.
Can't be Pickford.
Tarkowski, Burnley.
Yeah. So he has played 100 plus for Burnley, and he has also made 100 plus for Everton. Yeah.
Wow.
So
awesome. Thanks for that start, man. So now let's have a look at our title rivals, and see how they cooked in the course of this game week. And we're going to start with Tottenham Chelsea. So for some reason, Ebuka, Chelsea always tends to find a victory at whether it was White Hart Lane or Tottenham Stadium or whatever it's going to be. And of course, remember the last one where Postecoglou had 2 red cards and he foolishly simply the highline and Nicolas Jackson swooped in the hat-trick on them. Now that Thomas Frank is there, there have been some like inconsistent performances. And in all honesty, even someone like João Pedro that have been struggling managed to even get a goal against them. Where do you think Tottenham would end up this campaign?
Man. Firstly, I think Spurs has one of the most dreadful home performances in the Premier League this season. I think they've only won 1 out of 5. They've won 1, drawn 1, and lost 3. And in those 3 they've lost, I think they've gotten the lowest XG ever. Yeah, not even XG. The lowest XG.
Yeah, like even the Bournemouth game, they had 0.01 XG.
Yeah, so Spurs was 0.05, and I think Bournemouth was 0.06. So they've not actually created anything at home. Like it's almost like Thomas Frank is advised to having possession. He prefers when the other team has possession, and then he could actually play on the transition, right? Spurs.
Did you say Thomas Frank or Amorim?
Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank. So Thomas Frank is one of those managers actually who likes the other team having possession, so he can always come at them, right? But the thing in general is with Spurs they don't have a striker. Like
but they have 4 strikers now.
They have 4 strikers, but they are dead, all dead for strikers.
In fairness, they have lots of injuries.
Okay, you have Dominic Solanke dead. Randall Kolomoani, he's trying to get into the game, but then nothing at all being done. You have Richarlison,
Matistel,
who's actually not there, and you have I think
but sorry, I was thinking that Richarlison started the season very well.
Yep, he did. He started the season very well, but then it's Richarlison, right? As in, he sometimes he has these ups and downs. But Spurs, I think, if we go back to Spurs, I think it's more of like a creative stuff.
And their best creators are injured.
Exactly. So you have Madison, who's like
Kulusevski.
Their creator, and Kulusevski. Kudus in the Premier League, I think he's got the highest completed successful dribbles. Kudus. But aside that, he doesn't create. He only knows how to take his man up, but then his decision making is wow.
But I thought they bought Xavi Simons from
they bought Xavi Simons, but if you look at it, like I still say this thing, right? So not every single time that someone is doing well in another league, you can easily translate the skills in that league to the Premier League. The Premier League is a different beast. The critical skill that is needed to succeed in the Premier League, I would say, is physicality and athleticism. If you have these 2 things, you are much more likely to succeed in the Premier League than any other player.
Yeah, and it's like a meta.
Exactly. That's the problem Florian Wirtz is having. That's the problem Xavi Simons is having. Somebody said, I saw on Twitter yesterday, the person said, it's like the breed of the number 10s in the Premier League is completely dying. Like the number 10s. Wirtz is a 10. Xavi Simons is a 10, right? But the thing is, let's look at it. They look lightweight. Like once they are down with the ball, the next thing you just see somebody grand deal, boom, as the opponent takes the ball away from them. So for Spurs, it's a creative issue that I think they have, which I don't know when Madison and Kulusevski will be back, but those 2 are really, really missed.
Okay, awesome. So Chooks, obviously this was your own club. You were certainly happy for the win against Spurs. I know when Sunderland came around and knocked you guys off the park, I know we had fun cooking you. And you guys went to the Carabao Cup against Wolves and almost embarrassed yourselves, but at least you made it away and you got a good draw against Cardiff. But going into this game against Tottenham, how high was your confidence Were you looking at just the past records you have against them, or was your form good enough for you to guarantee a win?
I mean, if we're talking about form, then yeah, maybe just one loss in the last six, right? So yeah, I get the angle of form, right? But I think playing Spurs is like there's always this confidence playing Spurs, even from the Chelsea chant, for example. You should just
Can we play you every week?
like from Chelsea's chant, the one they go, we hate Tottenham, da 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 da. We hate, like whether we're playing Spurs or not, it's an ever present chant, right? So there's just something between Chelsea and Spurs, and I was a bit confident, and beyond it being Spurs too, I think there's also a, a way Chelsea plays bigger teams, right? That gives me a little more confidence than when we're even playing the smaller teams that pack the bus. So yeah, I think I had a bit of comfort going into the game, knowing that yeah we would get a result from it. But I mean, yesterday was a total Caicedo show. He was all over the pitch. I don't know. He's just like four players in one, and I'm beginning to imagine what Chelsea would look like with Caicedo absent on the day. I just don't want to look forward to that, but that's a big worry for me.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you. So, Coco, as Ebuka rightly said, this was another game where Tottenham had a very low XG at home. And in all honesty, they have not really been creative. With the game against Everton, they used two set pieces from Van der Ven to,
Yeah.
get the result. And as the season has progressed, as Ebuka rightly said, they have not really attacked teams. So, looking at their current setup right now, where do you think they need to improve on to at least challenge for a Champions League spot?
Creativity. I think the fact that they have the injuries to their most creative players, Madison, Kulusevski, I think they don't have, in my opinion, they're not strong enough in all the right places. They've overloaded their team with injury-prone players. Even the new signings. It's funny. And Xavi Simons I never really thought it was going to be a hit. There's a thing about him. I mean, they were celebrating their failures really because they couldn't bring in Easy, and they had to make it look like Simons was the next best thing after fried rice, or is it jollof rice, or what do you call it? You need a Madison to come back. Madison is just that guy. He has done a lot of things for them. He has definitely done a lot of things against me in the FPL. I can never forget it. And the need
Yeah.
Kulusevski, is still, when he's fit, there's this thing that he does. I don't really know, to be honest. Tottenham have relied on their defense to attack. They've relied on the Van de Veens. How many goals has Van de Veen scored?
Like
You
three or
know,
I
four
think
goals.
Three or so. Three in the
yeah,
league, I think one in Europe.
Yeah.
exactly. It's looking they're so. I mean, I remember I saw, and I think there's lit some trouble. What was that thing going on at the end of the game with the defenders and their coach?
Yeah, with Frank. Yeah, that was just, well,
That
I
didn't
think
look
just
like
drama. Maybe the drama of
maybe,
losing
yeah, maybe it could be passion, right? A lot
yeah,
of
passion.
Jet Spence could be
Probably.
like, I really wanted, but Jet Spence really wanted this game. He was fired up. You know, I remember he frightened Cucurella at some point. Cucurella didn't expect that response from him. So it might just be a case of individual passion. Like maybe he's at some stage, maybe
games
his friends
games
are
with
just
Spurs
fired.
always have that passion. He always has that fire. I mean, I think he still
Yeah,
has the record
true.
of the
Yeah,
most
am I the
yellow
one that
cards.
it was Conte and Tuchel
Yeah,
that they
yeah,
had some drama when they're trying to shake each other and stuff?
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there's this thing. Chelsea has been a thorn in the door. Even when Tottenham are flying high,
Yeah.
they come up against Chelsea. I remember what Hazard did to them the
Hmm.
other time.
In the
Chelsea has
Leicester
not been a
season.
turn
Yeah.
in Tottenham, Coco. I don't know what is. Let me tell you, Chelsea had it easy against Spurs. I think in
No,
in
that's why I
That's
say,
in the
what he's
last 18
saying now.
competitions, like all
that's why I say,
competitions, Chelsea and Spurs has just
even when
won just
Tottenham
one.
are flying high,
Yeah.
you
Oh
expect,
yeah,
and then Chelsea is having a bad run. They come up against each other. Chelsea would just do the business. They were on a title
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
back
In the
then, and
Leicester season, yeah.
yeah, Chelsea
Yeah.
spoiled it big time.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. Eden Hazard
Yeah,
with that
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah, that was our goal. That was devastating for Tottenham, and I think when Tottenham were beginning to believe, they just came up against an Achilles heel. So yeah, um, I don't really see any other person. I mean, they've not recruited well, in my opinion. It looked like I thought their best recruitment was their manager, to be honest, and he has tried for them. He has made them look like a team. I mean,
Awesome.
yeah.
So, Ibuka, let's talk about Chelsea's defense just before we leave. Sanchez is actually raking in the clean sheets. I know there was a period when they were having some red cards and they kind of struggled. But despite all the injuries and the challenges they've had as a team, they tend to rake up some clean sheets. Do you think that's going to continue as the season progresses, or do you think they're just in a purple patch?
I think it's a purple patch, right? I mean, Chelsea has spent a lot of money, but have they really upgraded on the players they previously had? I'm not sure, but they've spent like more than $1 billion. You still have Sanchez as your number one. Like, just make it make sense. You shouldn't have Sanchez as your number one at this point in time, right? It's just crazy. But where I would say Chelsea are stacked, right, is in midfield. Because if you can have Romeo Lavia fit, you have Caicedo and you have Enzo Fernandez. I mean, that's pretty much one of like the toughest midfield you could ever face in the Premier League. And yesterday's goal, the goal was scored by Caicedo. I don't want to know what anyone is saying. That goal, Caicedo is a monster. Like, he's a midfield monster. He intercepted it. Then he pressed. He won it, and he pressed again, and he won it before just squaring it to Joao Pedro into an empty goal. I mean, Caicedo, definitely one of the best defensive midfielders in the world today.
Awesome. Hey, Rory, welcome, bro. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Obviously, apologies for the lateness, but it is what it is. Big up to everyone in the panel as always, and yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Awesome. So we're about to leave this game, but just quick take on the Chelsea versus Tottenham game. What stood out for you in the game?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't very derby-like. It's fair to say. Obviously, Chelsea deserved the win. They dominated Tottenham throughout, but onto Tottenham, with being as unbiased as I can, they are really poor at home. I've heard something that they've not won at home since the opening day of the season, which is mental. That was obviously against Burnley. I'm pretty sure since then they've drawn 1 and lost 2. It might be 3 now. I'm not sure. But yeah, they are awful at home. And it seems like with Thomas Frank, right, his style of football suits the away from home. I don't know what it is, but they look
much actually mentioned that too.
Yeah, they look much more resolute away from home than they do at home. It's just like, well, when they're rotating possession, they just don't really know how to bail themselves out of these mitigating circumstances. And you look at their attack, and it's possibly the worst attack in the league, if you ask me. Like, apart from Kudus, God, most of them stink. I'm looking at bloody.
I mentioned it earlier. They all
Richarlison. He's just saying everything Ebuka said earlier.
Yeah, like Richarlison, Tell,
Solanke,
Solanke.
Colomwani. I mean, how much money have Tottenham spent on those attackers? I really want to know. Like, they spent like 50 million on Tell, was it?
Yeah, Tell was 50. Solanke was, I think, 65.
Yeah.
Richarlison was 55, and who's it? Okay, Colomwani is on loan, so that's 200 million. You're looking at 200 million pounds.
Yeah, like you have obviously Xavi Simons getting benched. I mean, definitely didn't hear me say Arsenal should have gone after him, but yeah, that's a different story. I just think, with the league, the whole Premier League, it's sort of taken a toll, hasn't it? Because I'm seeing players coming off the bench and then instantly getting hooked in the second half. Like, what is going on? I saw it with Jadon Sancho the other week, and now we've seen it with bloody Xavi Simons. He got bloody hooked as well. Not hooked. He got benched, is what I'm trying to say. before a London derby. Like, you should be relying on your... How much money did they spend on Simmons? Was it 60 million?
70 mil or something?
70 mil?
Yeah.
And you don't start him in a London derby. Like, it doesn't really make no sense to me. And to me, he just looks very lightweight in the Premier League. I mean, even Fabio Vieira had a better start to his Arsenal career than the likes of... I know I'm going off topic, but Wirtz and, you know, Xavi Simmons. So, like, for me, with Bundesliga players, I think we just need to cut our losses, innit? If you're the Premier League. That's my message.
Although Aubameyang cooked for us, though. So
yeah,
there be a couple of,
but like lately,
outliers.
you've had Werner, you've had Havertz, you've had obviously Simmons now, Florian Wirtz.
And Votemad is not doing badly at Newcastle. So there'll always be, like, for every what's the word? For every Aubameyang, there'll always be a Chamak, something like that. Okay, so let's go to the next game. I'll start with you, Coco, on this one. The rot is finally over. You know, we enjoyed the L's when they lasted, but for some reason, our man, good evening, didn't have enough in the tank to, you know, get a result. You could see in that game that Liverpool were kind of scared of what Aston Villa could do for them. Then Emiliano Martinez goes ahead and just gives a free gift to Mo Salah at the end of the first half, and that basically just killed the whole game. So
go ahead. That set the tone. You know, that set the tone. Liverpool were still, I mean, you can't come off the back of so many losses and have the confidence to go into a game against Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, the error came from Emi Martinez, who I just don't get it. Sometimes it feels like he's the best keeper in the world. It feels, I mean, he's nonchalant. The nonchalance shows in his game, man. Unfortunately, he came up, he passed the ball to a Salah who needed it. I mean, all the pieces of the puzzle came in that fateful second, and Salah showed the quality that
with his right foot, actually.
Exactly, with his weaker foot. So, you know, it was a nightmare for the rest of us, you know, because we know that it's only going to go one way after that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and well, Liverpool are back in it. It's always good to have title rivals. You know,
look at you.
Push you.
look at you sounding all title rivals, man.
Yeah, so I'm actually heading to you now, Chooks. You can see, is Liverpool's XI best without Wirtz in it?
To be honest, who knows? Like, nobody knows what their best 11 looks like anymore, because with Wirtz, they seem to, you know, create better. I don't know. Like, I mean, he had one of the most chances created up until the point when they started benching him, right? So I can't really say. Liverpool fans will say the midfield look flat, right, when Wirtz is in it, but when he's in it, I can see what they are trying to do, and that's what confuses me a bit now. So for me, I think it's the manager's job to you know, find the best way to play Wirtz in it, because with him on the pitch, at some point you start getting the goods. I mean, see what's his name? I know Ibuka is a fan of Cherky, right? Ryan Cherky, but yeah, I mean, see what Cherky is doing for Man City. At some point, you'd start just seeing the goods come up. So yeah, I feel like Wirtz will eventually still pop for Liverpool. It's just a matter of time.
Okay, so Rory, I'll go with you on this. After several weeks of using Milos Kerkez, they went back to Robertson, and the difference was quite clear. So going forward, do you think that's a battle that should still continue, or should Robertson nail that left back slot back?
Yeah, I reckon it should be, because although Robertson, from what I saw last season, he wasn't really that great, and some Liverpool fans were claiming whether or not they should sell him this summer. But to be fair, right now you could argue he's their best left back, because Kerkez at the moment, I mean, yeah, he's been awful, hasn't he? I mean, considering he was one of the best left backs in the Premier League last year, and you know, as an Arsenal fan, we should have got him as the left back in the summer. But yeah, like, defensively, he looks mega suspect, and yeah, overall, I can't really, you know, just stand Kerkez if I'm being brutally honest with you. I just can't. There's just something about him where he's one of them players where you just don't really like him for no apparent reason. So listen, I think Liverpool, if they have any chance of catching up in this title race, then I think they have to persist with not just Robertson at left back, but players that, you know, like last season they had a proper format. Obviously, Gravenberch came back from injury, and he, to be fair, ran the show. I do rate him very highly. But I think benching a couple of their signings, apart from obviously Ekitike up front, that's pretty much the side that they had last season. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's probably the formula to get Liverpool winning games again. Just to stick with the formula they had last season, and maybe it may click once more, because it's clear that the signings haven't. I mean, apart from Ekitike, no one's really clicked in that Liverpool team at the moment who came in through the summer. And as I was saying about Florian Wirtz earlier, like the cameo when he came on, I prefer not to speak, because again, I'll be in big trouble.
Okay, so Ebuka, let's talk Oli Watkins. This was a striker that was always doing the Lord's work pretty much in the Premier League, and those had him in their FPL teams always cooked. But this campaign, 10 games played, just 1 goal against Fulham. Where did it go wrong for him? And do you think his form is going to improve anytime soon?
So there was a time in the first half, right? If you because I saw the game, there was a time in the first half where Oli Watkins lost the ball, and he didn't even bother like going to win it back. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Because Watkins, whenever he loses the ball, he presses you immediately, right? So I'm thinking, one, is it probably as in he's kind of like, okay, the fact he didn't get the move this summer, right, is kind of like affecting him mentally, affecting his play, because this definitely isn't the Oli Watkins we all know. The Oli Watkins that we see right now, he's just, okay, you know what, let me show up at work and that's it. I don't see Oli Watkins putting in the effort that I've seen him put in previous seasons. And that's taking a toll on Villa, because currently Villa has scored 9 goals in their first 10 league games. And for Unai Emery, that's the lowest he has scored in his entire managerial career for any of his club sides. I mean, there's been no time that an Unai Emery side has scored 9 goals in their first 10 league games. So Watkins, is it time to like put him on the bench, get someone like Daniel Marlin to lead the line? Probably, possibly, because when Marlin came on yesterday, like you could see he was actually running the channels, and he was trying his best to make things work. So I think right now it's you can Watkins, like put him on the bench and start Marlin.
Okay, so the final thing we'll discuss about Villa, Coco, is Morgan Rogers. Yeah. Last season, him and Watkins were basically the team that almost went to the Champions League before they obviously, crashed out in the Europa League spot. But just like Watkins, Morgan had played 10 games and just had one goal return. Is it the case of what Ebuka has spoken about Watkins, or is Morgan's case a bit different?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much there's something going on there. First of all, I think we have to deal with the seasons pre and before. There's something that happened at Aston Villa last season. Was it last season? When did Duran leave them?
Yeah, last season left in January.
Yeah, why was that sanctioned? I was thinking that Duran is the guy that would come in and replace Watkins naturally. Watkins should be sold. He's done his bit for the Aston Villa team. He's not expired, but sometimes players need motivation elsewhere. He's been there for a while. They shouldn't have sold Duran. They shouldn't have that core, that spark they had. They had this vibrancy in the attacking aspect of their game, which they seem to have lost. I think what's his name? There's some players there's a player that has left them from the midfield.
Aston Villa.
Yeah, Aston Villa.
It was Asensio, but he was never their player actually.
No, not Asensio.
Is it the guy in?
Who's that?
Who? I think they've lost
Leon Bailey.
Yeah, Douglas. Douglas.
Okay.
Not Douglas. There's someone. There's an attacker. I think on the right flank.
Leon Bailey.
Yeah, it was Bailey.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bailey,
Diaby.
No, Leon Bailey.
yeah.
Bailey, the
Leon
Jamaican.
Bailey. Is he still with them? He's gone, right?
Yeah, he's left. Yes.
Yeah, he went to Roma,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he went to
Yeah,
Roma.
So I think that's an indication. The thing that's happening with Morgan Rogers, who should be in his, stepping into his prime, is that spark isn't there. The team is losing some flavor, and something needs to be done in January. It's a recruitment thing. It's a recruitment problem. That's what Aston Villa have right now, and I'm of the opinion that they should get rid of their star striker. He isn't
Okay.
inspiring the team at all. So Morgan Rogers is just following suit. He's getting the vibe, and it's not really, instilling some confidence in the rest of the team, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
also the manager, I think, our dear Emery, good evening. He has an expiry date. I think every 4 years, 3 or 4 years or so in a team. I mean, things happen. Yeah, I mean, the team just disintegrates. It's not really a manager that stays that long in the team and keeps them fresh. He doesn't have that skill to refreshen squads and make things happen. It's shown in their last season. They've done a lot of bad business in the transfer window. So yeah, Morgan is an offshot. Ebuka is right. I think there's something going on there, and it's affected Morgan as well.
Okay, awesome.
Okay,
let's go to
so one fun fact on the Liverpool game. This is the 106th game that Liverpool has won in the Premier League in which they scored first. So in the Premier League at Anfield, they've won their last 106 games. The last time they lost after scoring first at Anfield was in 2017. Who was that team against? Liverpool's bogey team.
Yeah, Crystal Palace, I think.
Exactly.
Shamrock Rovers.
I think the Crystal Palace. I remember that game.
Yeah, they scored first and the Palace won the game at Anfield.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Isn't Crystal Palace
let's go to Man.
team for?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so let's go to Man City. I'm sorry, there's a typo. It's supposed to be 3-1. I don't know where 4 came to in my mind. Maybe I was expecting 4-1 or so. But
are you an Arsenal fan or what?
Okay, so Rory, let's talk Haaland. Can this guy stop scoring, man? This is getting ridiculous at this point. Do you think his odds on to probably challenge for the Ballon d'Or, or will this be a Yamal thing on the rest?
Well, to be honest, right, I think this is, I would say, the best version I've seen of Haaland, even better when he first came in at Man City. I mean, it's ridiculous the way he's actually performing at this moment in time, and the fact he is Man City's top scorer, not just by far the best striker in the league right now and the highest goal scorer in the Premier League, but is by far clear of everyone else in terms of quality in that Manchester City team, because when he's not there, there's not really a whole lot. I mean, I heard something that their second top scorer is a Burnley centre-back.
Yeah, own goal.
Because obviously he scored like 2 own goals in one game of football against Man City, for God's sake. I mean, that's mental when you think about it, because no one in that City team has scored more than 2 goals, I believe. Yep. Which, again, as I said, it is just mental. I think after today, did O'Reilly score before today? I don't know if he did or if that.
No, O'Reilly scored his third goal.
Yeah, but was that his second goal of the season?
No, yeah, I think he scored. Hasn't he scored before? Oh no, it was an assist he gave before.
Yeah, it was last. That's actually his first goal.
I thought it was this.
So right now, no one has scored more than 1 goal besides Haaland. Bernardo Silva 1 goal, Cheki 1 goal.
Every other person is 1 goal.
Foden 1 goal. Matthias Nunez 1 goal. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Okay,
but isn't that a problem? Isn't that potential thorn in their flesh? I mean,
but honestly, I think Haaland will probably go down as the greatest goal scorer in Premier League history by the time he's retired. Like, he's tied down to like a 10-year contract, isn't he? At Man City.
I think he's gonna blow Shearer's record out of the water. Like if he stays at City for the rest of his career, he's gonna blow Shearer. I mean, 100 Premier League goals in 107 appearances.
And that's
I think
insane.
if he wins the Golden Boot this season, which you might as well just
98, I think.
Oh, was it 98? Oh, yeah, but I heard something like that. I heard something.
If he wins the Golden Boot this season, which he will, like, you might as well just hand it to him right now. Does that mean he's tied with Henry with the most Golden Boots in Premier League history? because it's 3,
No,
isn't it? He
Henry
needs one
had
more.
3. So yeah, so
No,
he'll be tied with him
I
actually.
think Henry's got 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, okay, I'll probably need to research that.
No, I think
So
it's 3.
Ebuka, let's talk about Donnarumma. When they had Ederson and Ortega and the rest, they were the kind of squad that they will attack you so much, but when the position gets one chance against Man City, it's basically a goal. But with Donnarumma, have you seen any improvement, or are they still considering funny goals like in previous years?
So I think with Donnarumma, I think they're better. I think Donnarumma knows how to set up the defense more. But in terms of playing out the back and that ball distribution from deep into the opposition half, Donnarumma doesn't have that skill set. It doesn't have that skill set way more than Donnarumma. But then, yeah, City is still City. They're still conceding goals. I still think in terms of the defensive setup, right? The physicality part of the Premier League is actually getting to City because if you take a look at the goal or the goals they've been conceding, right? It's more of like, okay, winning the duels. I don't think City has been winning as much duels as they should, especially in the defensive third. But aside that, I think Donnarumma has been great, and we might be seeing, okay, like I think I saw somewhere where it was mentioned that City has gone more long this season than in previous seasons. So is Pep trying to like, okay, be more vertical? Is he trying to like, as in, get into that as in evolution of how of modern football trends? Because we can see more teams going long. So is Pep trying to also get that done with Donnarumma? Probably that might be his thinking behind signing Donnarumma. But then, yeah, he's been good. He's been decent. I'm not like he's been wow. You understand? But yeah,
Yeah.
he's just good for City so far.
Okay, so Trooks, let's talk Bournemouth. Despite this loss to Man City, they are currently fourth on the table with 18 points. How good a performance have they had this season? And what are your thoughts on Anthony Iraola's transition from basically having most his entire defense shipped out and getting new players, to bed in and to see do what he's doing? What's your take on Bournemouth's performances so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're punching above their weight. They've sold their best defenders, maybe three of their first defenders last season. And Iraola, I don't expect him to be in Bournemouth for long. Maybe one season tops. If the top clubs are still out there searching for a coach, then I think he's going to be a top candidate to
Yeah,
replace.
United should sack him.
I didn't want to mention Amorim.
He's gonna be free. Like Iraola is gonna be out of a contract by the end of this season, so Amorim should just get out of the door and let's get it.
Yeah. So I know Iraola he'll get a top job. Yeah, Bournemouth is looking good. They've lost just 2 games to two of the top 3 teams in the league, right? So, and they've not lost since the opening day of the season. So yeah, tough team to play against on their day. Except for today, they just had some shambolic defending today. But I mean, who wouldn't defend like that against Haaland? So yeah, good team to be honest.
Okay, so final question on this fixture. Coco, how big of a loss has Rodri been, or has Man City moved on from him?
No, I mean, I'm of the opinion they are still, trying to pick up the pieces. Ebuka discussed the trend with the long balls. I still feel, and the fact that they've not been winning most of the 50-50s in the field where Roger would have absolutely dominated. Rodri was the world player of the was. I mean, he had Ballon was it Ballon d'Or when
Yeah.
he got injured. It was a big blow for them. He is still a big blow for them because even when he comes back, we expect he's going to have the niggling injuries that come that are associated with the kind of injury that he suffered. So yeah, no, they've not recovered from that, and I don't expect that they will recover. So what Pep is doing right now is just making do. I mean, when last did you get a player come in because he was suddenly available? I mean, talking about Donnarumma, a Pep would probably have had the goalkeeper he needed to come in from the very beginning of the transfer window. So it's a bit, they're just managing what they have right now. It's my opinion. That's why there's also that golf in class. No one is scoring goals apart from Haaland, which
Okay.
is probably going to bite them in the December busy fixture because And I mean, I hope for their sake, Haaland doesn't get injured because, I mean, I know he's a stallion, but one injury to Haaland and
Yeah,
two
cooked,
things, one
man.
of two things happen. Yeah, either they would completely fall apart or they would realize that they have to restructure the team and play in the era where they had Aguero, where they had more attacking midfielders than
Yeah,
strikers.
yeah,
So
but at least
yeah,
they have a certain Mamouche, even if it's not like the same quality we had, but at least he can
yeah,
try to
they
do a
have
decent
Mahmoud.
job.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mamouche is, I mean, I hate Mamouche because, I mean, sorry to digress. Whenever
Mhm.
I get him in my FPL team, he doesn't.
Yeah, so that's personal pain, man. That's personal pain.
That speaks of an inconsistency. Sorry, I can't trust Mamouche in my FPL team. Why should City trust him? You know what I mean? So yeah, Rodri is the steel they need to build that solidity around. And unfortunately, they've lost him, and I don't think they're going to have him back for a while. So
Okay. So let's check
less
out
is just
other
going to
key
come up.
fixtures. I think I'll start with you here, Rory. The Seagulls versus the Lily Whites. This was one of those games that you might just not really want to push yourself to watch it because man, you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
Brighton versus Leeds. There was a time when Brighton was fun to watch, but I think this current day Brighton, we kind of just seem far-fetched, like a couple of players here and there. Even a player called Gomez scoring a brace. I'm like, who is Gomez? There's a time when this will have like household names, although they've made a lot of money selling most of them. But do you think they really invested well this summer with the players they kind of sold from? Because the people losing to like Joao Pedro for 70 mil. They just stuck with Welbeck and got a couple of young Greek kids and stuff like that. But this was a game that they expected to win and they won very well. So what was your take on the game itself and the Gomez lad? Do you think he's someone that we should be looking out for in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend, I've seen any of the game, to be honest with you, because, again, Arsenal were on at the same time, so I was watching that. But obviously, the only thing I took away from the game was the fact Danny Welbeck is on some form, innit? I mean, of course, I watched him before at Arsenal, week in, week out, and it's safe to say he was very frustrating and he was riddled with a lot of injuries. But in a team like Brighton, it feels like he's played pretty much everywhere. Like in the Premier League, he's played for Man United, Watford, Brighton now, and I think obviously it wasn't great at Watford, but at Brighton he seems to be finding his rhythm quite well. He's scoring goals. He scored goals last season as well, and I think he's done well to sort of, I don't know, give Thomas Tuchel a bit of a selection headache for the World Cup. I don't know, if he keeps performing like this, then he could be within a shout for the World Cup. And Welbeck does tend to play well for England, so yeah, I mean, obviously it's too early to judge yet, but at the moment, he's balling out, it's fair to say. But that's the only thing I can take away from the game was the fact, obviously, Welbeck is, again, he's carrying on with his decent form. With Leeds, right, I've spoken to a lot of Leeds mates because, they're, you would say, my local Premier League club, it's fair to say. And they were just saying, basically, Daniel Farker, the manager, is just, well, he's out of his depth. Every time he comes to the Premier League, we've seen it on numerous occasions with Norwich.
And a couple of other teams.
Bottom of the league, and it's no better, really, with Leeds. And let's be honest, they did lose a couple of players from the Championship, to be honest. Manor Solomon was balling out for them, apparently, in the Championship.
And even Joe Pirro was scoring so many goals as well, too.
Yeah, and now that they've lost him, and obviously Ruta, who I believe played for Leeds before he
went to Brighton,
so they're missing some big players, obviously. Well, they've lost some big players, and at the moment, there's not really any cohesion in that Leeds team. Like at home, they could, produce a couple of decent performances to stay up in the league. I think that's the only hope they've got, because from what I've discovered anyway, Leeds can be a very tough place to go. The atmosphere is quite hostile there. So it'll be a difficult place to go for any team, but away from home, yeah, like don't really expect Leeds to get a whole lot really, because again, away from home, they're just not really the same team as they are at home, and they're not really that great at home, but they've actually picked up quite a few decent points as expected. But like away from home, it's curtains for them. Like if they don't sort out their away form, that could be the difference between them staying in the league and them getting relegated. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But again, like Brighton, as expected, really, like they had to win that game because I don't think Brighton have necessarily started this season very well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they had to get that win, to be honest with you. But yeah, like what can I say? That's all I can really give you because I didn't really watch the game.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So Ebuka,
yeah, it was a decent win for Brighton.
So we're looking at someone like Welbeck, who has been scoring so many goals, and you switch to someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is just thinking up the place. You know, he was someone that would have Everton. He was crap. But now they had a striker like Joe Pirou, who scored 19 goals for them in the Championship. But obviously, when they came to the Premier League, they felt he was not the right quality, in quotes, and they got DCL instead. Was that an upgrade in your opinion?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I mean, I would have, if I read Daniel Farker, I would have gone ahead with Joao Pedro, because at least the thing you could give to Joao Pedro is he knows how to link up play way better than anything Dominic Calvert-Lewin could ever do, right? And I think he should go back to as in utilizing Pedro, because like the Leeds, I think Leeds have considered the opening goal in all their away games so far this season. They are always considering the opening goal in games, and once they concede the opening goal, I mean, it's more of like, okay, shut up the back, because Leeds definitely find it difficult to score. So it's more like a win for the home side. But I actually kind of like saw the highlights of this game, and Yankuba Minte was a terror. I mean, in the Leeds to the Leeds defense, like that dinking pass, or I'll call it that dinking pre-assist for Wafer. Assist to Robert's goal, like it was a moment of quality from Yankuba Minte, right? And then you had Diego Gomez, who kind of like just came into the game as now then sealed it up with 2 goals. But Leeds were kind of like the architects of their downfall, because they were just giving sloppy passes in their defense, and Brighton were literally just capitalizing on it. So it's Leeds, like I would say, still one of my prime candidates for relegation, because away from home they're really not doing anything, and at home, the scoring, but you could see like it's more that they're just trying to like keep up with the game. So yeah, Brighton, 3 goals, 3 points, well deserved.
Awesome. Okay, so Coco, there was one man who had more XG than Erling Haaland in the last 6 games. His name is John Philip Mateta, and against Bournemouth, I think that was the Premier League record for the most XG recorded in a single game. It was 3.4 something or thereabout. Now he's played against Brentford. He has continued the scoring streak. What's your take on him as a footballer? You know, for someone that was a relative unknown, he has come to this Crystal Palace side and has grown into one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Do you think he's going to stay in the club at the end of the season? Will he make a move to a bigger team, or this is level?
He'll stay at the club at the end of the season. I mean, I don't mean to, be disrespectful. He doesn't look like a football player. You know, it's just, I just feel, it's confusing. You know, I'm happy for him though, because he's hardworking. We give him that, but you just feel some players achieve cult status at certain clubs, and they really shouldn't try to do much more than that. You know, Mateta feels to me like that sort of player. You know, Eze has left, Olise has left. You know, it wouldn't do. Palace should do everything they need to do to keep him. He's not an attractive player, you know, in terms of the transfer market. If he leaves Crystal Palace, he'll probably go to a Fulham or, you know, other at-par club. He's not going to be taking a step higher. So, yeah, kudos to him. I love his celebration. He's very explosive. And I mean, I like the fact that he scores goals. You know, he's broken into the French team, right? And I'm sure he's going to make the World Cup squad somehow. You know, because you just have to reward the effort that is paying off for him. But I don't think that Mateta is going to. I mean, if he proves me wrong, if the world proves me wrong, I'll be here for it. But it doesn't cut across like a player is going to make that big
He
step.
proved Zaha wrong by making the French national team, so he's going to prove you wrong.
No, come on.
I mean,
That's
you
not
got a
just
point.
Messi, man. And you could see that he
But
had that
let,
beef in his heart for so long, and he couldn't
yeah,
wait.
let's check it. Who are the potential suitors? You know,
Manchester
for
United.
No way, bro.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's like a Fulham or an Everton or a Leeds kind of stuff.
No, but
yeah.
actually, if Mateta could be a striker that could actually get those goals for Spurs, like if you take a look at it, like if he goes to Spurs, I'm telling you, like he really could get the job done at Spurs.
But Spurs isn't a top team, so.
No, but you're like, yeah, I understand it's all banter, but at least there.
I feel you.
We're winning against Crystal
Yeah.
Palace, right? Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, you have a solid point. That step up could be a Spurs team.
So Chooks, let's talk Brentford for a bit. Their squad lacks an identity. You know, back then when you see Brentford, you see Mbeumo, you see Wissa, you see Nogard, you see Thomas Frank. But right now the team just had this meh feel about them, and the results are also showing. Brentford is a squad that is walloping in the bottom, like mid-table-ish, and even though they've managed to get some wins, they don't look like a team that can really progress as much. Do you think that they've had a massive setback signing their set piece coach as their manager, and of course not replacing the big stars they had?
I mean, you say they don't have a presence, but they have Coyote, whose
Oh yeah,
presence
okay,
is
yeah, the new Rory Delap, right?
yeah, is the new Rory Delap, right? So yeah, I mean that's one hell of a thrower, if there's any word like that. So yeah, but I think there was just little expectation from Bournemouth this season. You know, after losing their manager and losing their best players, right? So having them win some of the games they've won, including Liverpool, and drawing against Chelsea and some of the results they've had as well. Yeah, I think they've not really done badly, to be fair. And despite not having those big players like you've mentioned, I think they're doing so well for the level and for the expectations that people had of them coming into this season. So
Okay,
I,
fair
I, I
enough.
don't I don't have initially I think I thought they would get relegated, but from the way they've played and from the results I've seen this season, I don't think they're going to be one of the
Okay,
relegated
so the
teams.
last comment here, Rory. Let's talk Crystal Palace. For winning Liverpool at Anfield, there's going to be sometime in December where they're going to play games on the 11th, 14th, 16th, 18th, 21st. Do you think their squad can manage such a run in the Premier League, in the EFL Cup, in the Conference League, despite the fact that they've actually shown that they don't have as much depth as possible?
Nah, I don't think they will be able to cope for pretty much all season, due to, as you said, like they are playing still in the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup's going to come around, and you look at their squad. I mean, if you pick up a few injuries, especially to the likes of Mateta, their wing backs as well, they don't really have much squad depth, do they? And they didn't really have the best summer either. They didn't really replace Eze very well, if you ask me. So it's going to be difficult for them to actually cope throughout the whole season to keep their blooming team fit. You know, although Crystal Palace won the FA Cup last season, you look at the start of the season they actually made last year, and I think they were fighting relegation.
Oh
at
yeah,
one
I
point.
remember that they were struggling to get wins or so. Yeah, before they now picked up from
Yeah,
that's true.
and I think that was down to Adam Wharton getting injured for a long period of time. And obviously, once he came back, then Palace ended up playing a lot better because he's pretty much the heartbeat in that midfield. Like without him, then I honestly don't know like where they would be because, again, as I said, he's probably one of their most important players along with Mateta. So this is what I'm saying. If they do get injuries, then I think that's where you will see Crystal Palace decline a little bit because, again, they don't really spend much money. They're not that sort of team to spend money in the transfer window.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's going to be a difficult season if they do pick up injuries. But if they keep their first team fit, then I think they can go on a decent cup run. You look at the Conference League; they're probably the favourites for that. The FA Cup, they're obviously the holders, and then the League Cup, they're facing us in the quarterfinals. So as long as they keep their team fit, it's looking good for them. However, with the games in between, like they have 4 games in the space of 8 days?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
5 games in 10 days.
So they may have no choice but to field out the kids to play against us, or they may do it in another game. I'm not sure because again it's a cup competition. But I've got a feeling because it's the League Cup, they will actually field out a week 11. So I don't know, but at the moment, it's looking good for Palace. I think Palace will be happy with the start they've made. Like they've lost twice, I believe, all season. So yeah, as I said, as long as they keep their first 11 fit, they'll go places.
Awesome. So we have Josh Trugona in the chat. Good to always have you, bro. Hope you're doing well, man. Let's look at Fulham. Ebuka, finally, Vitor Pereira is gone. How long overdue was this, man?
I mean, I actually predicted Wolves to win this game, but after Fulham got the first goal, like sloppy once again in defense, just like lost the ball, and then Jimenez get the pass to Sessegnon. Like Sessegnon had yards of space in front of him to do whatever he liked with the ball, and then he scored the opening goal. After that, it was a red card, and it was all downhill from there. Well, for Vitor Pereira, he did what he could. I mean, if you look at it, I don't think it's a manager thing with Wolves, and this is the season I think Wolves are gonna get relegated because they've been circling around the drain for so long. They've been circling around that drain. Remember, Vitor Pereira, as in he currently has them in the relegation zone. Before Vitor Pereira came and as in saved them from going down, it was Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill had them in the relegation zone, right? Before Gary O'Neill, it was Bruno Lage who had them in the relegation zone. So they've always been, I think it's just from the top because they've always had seasons where some of their best players leave and they don't spend money. They just don't spend money. So it's just been a Wolves thing, right? That right from when Bruno Lage came in, they keep on selling their best players. There's no replacement for them. And I think, you can't do that for just so long. So I think this season is the season that they will definitely gonna get relegated. And I was taking a look at the managerial options to replace Vitor Pereira. Gary O'Neill is still there again. Gary O'Neill, who they sacked. Yeah, I think he's the forerunner right now to get the job. It just doesn't make any sense. You have Gary O'Neill, you have Michael Carrick, who doesn't have Premier League experience of any sort. One of the foreigners. So I mean, I think it's done and dusted. I see them getting relegated at the end of the season.
Yeah, so TG is talking about how his aunt is a big Palace fan and the happiest she's ever been. Yeah, Palace has already been cooking. So Chooks, let's talk about Fulham. I think Marco Silva has been somewhat inconsistent this season. Fulham was actually a team back in that when you come to Craven Cottage, you're going to sweat a bit, before getting a result against them. But I think in recent times, their form has actually been quite inconsistent and they are currently in 14th place. Fulham is usually a team that usually challenges for Europe regularly. But with the recent group of players they have, I don't think they've gotten to that level of consistency required. This was only a good result because it was Wolves. Prior to that, they have actually been struggling. So what's your take on Fulham so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, if you say they consistently fight for Europe, maybe probably just the more recent seasons, right? Fulham, as I've always known them, I think they're just comfortable being in the second half of the table, to be fair. And yes, with Marco Silva's first 2 seasons, I think they've started off slower than we've expected of them. But then again, I don't think there's so much to be alarmed about, right? Because I think they would eventually catch up and still finish around where people expect them to finish. I don't see them raising any roofs this season. I just think that they're just going to be in and around between 9th to 12th, 13th place, and for the ambitions they have, I think that's really where
Yeah,
they'll be
and
comfortable
TG really clear that yeah, Pereira went from hero to zero. That's really true.
Yeah. So just talking about Wolves, right? Let's keep it on Wolves. So look at the downgrade as in terms of player quality. Nelson Semedo to Ki and Ahuva at right back. Ruben Neves and João Moutinho to Marshal Munetsi and John Rickner Bellegarde. You went from Roman Saiz and Willy Boli to Totti Gomez and Agbadu. Rui Patricio to Sam Johnston. I mean, you can
then Nuri to Bueno, Matheus Cunha to Arias,
Nuri to Bueno,
Jimenez to Strand Larsen.
Exactly, Cunha to what's it called?
Strand Larsen isn't bad, to be fair.
It's
compared to Jimenez, when Jimenez was
I mean, Strand Larsen did 15 goals last season, so that's a decent output for a striker.
Yeah, but getting to the point.
To be honest, I've never seen that guy score a goal live.
Yeah.
I'll be dead honest with you. I've not seen that guy score a goal live. I don't know what it is. I've just not seen him score. It's only in these like 3 p.m. blackouts. I swear that guy only scores.
Okay, let's talk about your team.
Oh God!
So there was so much noise around us now. We lost set pieces, yada 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 yada. But I was in a group where Man United scored 2 set pieces, and the fans were like, "Yeah, good set pieces." So like, what's with the double standards? What's going on, man?
No, I don't have double standards. Like make use of set pieces, right? I think Arsenal has scored 10 this season. United has scored 6. So yes, I mean that's the trend. Everybody use whatever you could use, your hands, your feet, whatever you could use as long as a set piece. Like these days, even trains are set pieces, right? In the Premier League. I mean, Crystal Palace scored one, like an own goal from Brentford scored an own goal from a Crystal Palace throw. So yeah, set pieces is definitely what I think United has improved on offensively, but when it comes to the defensive part of it, I mean, United are nowhere. I understand offensively we're good. Defensively, we're still conceding goals from set pieces. I think we considered one yesterday against Forest from a set piece, right? And I think there was another one which we considered again, which was from the second phase of play from a Nottingham Forest set piece. So we are scoring, but at the same time, we're not defending set pieces as well as we should. And like I would always say, that's on the manager.
Awesome. So Rory, in FPL, everyone and their dog basically went for Brian Mbeumo because he had scored a couple of goals against Brighton. What is your take on his performance against Nottingham? And do you think he's someone that Man U can keep trusting to come up with the goods, game in, game out? Because once he doesn't, you can see that, obviously they can trust set pieces, but what is your take on his performances so far? And do you think he's someone that obviously remain consistent for them this season?
Well, to be fair, the only things I managed to catch up on this game was obviously the incident with the corner and the Amad Diallo strike that made it 2-2. And I saw something that Man United had an opportunity in the last minute where it went off the line.
Oh yeah, Murillo.
Yeah, so they could have won it at the end, but let's be honest, right? And I don't really want to, do I? Nah, you know what? I'm going to. These Man United fans, already within 45 minutes, calling for a title race. Ooh, second place.
Like, I told somebody, you delusional. Like, you're stupid. Because the manager who you have, like I said, the stupid thing about this is, I see some United fans compare Amorim to Arteta. Are you dumb? Like, you compare, like, I see them saying, oh, Arteta had time. They gave Arteta time to build as an Arsenal in squad. Now, fuck you. Arteta won the trophy his first season. He won the FA Cup. The stupid, useless United manager who we have, I call a fraud, right? Lost to the worst Spurs team of all time in the final.
Because we're waiting for this move.
Spurs team of all time. Like this stupid scam played Potter. He played Potter once. He played Ange 3 times. He played Vitor Pereira twice. 6 games he played against managers they've sacked. He lost every single one of them, and he scored only one fucking goal. I'm telling you, no, it's annoying. If you take a look at the Premier League table last season, right? The Premier League table last season, United finished 15th. Every team that finished from 14th to 20th have all fired the manager. Vitor Pereira was the last one. And we still have a stupid manager who finished 15th, and you're telling me he's going to win the title. You delusional.
Okay, yeah, that's the top rant there, man.
Oh,
He needed to get that off his chest.
Yeah, he had to.
But like that's what I found hilarious. Like I had bloody Man United fans all over my timeline. I even had arguments with Man United mates in my group chat, like, "Oh yeah, we're in the title race right now," blah 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 blah. And I'm like, just give it time, right? You've got to produce this sort of consistency before you can then talk about title races.
Yeah.
Even
true.
like as an Arsenal fan, like we're top of the league, but I'm not even mentioning title races because the title race is, I would say, around January, February, the crunch months, right? You don't win anything as far as I'm concerned in October, November, December, right? Fair enough, in December, that's where you can judge whether or not you are in a title race. But the title race really kicks off around February, March time.
Yeah.
And that's where you've got to click into gear. So this is where like Man United fans had to hold this reality check. And
yeah, and it's quite funny when you think of the fact, Rory, that this is the first time that they even went 3 games with wins. Since I'm not enjoying it, it was like one win, one loss, one win, one draw, one win. So it's so inconsistent, actually.
I remember when Arsenal, right, they were bottom of the league. Remember that time?
When we lost to Brentford,
Chelsea,
Man City 5-0.
We won 3 in a row, but that didn't mean that we were in a title race. So this is why I'm like, well, what is this notion going around? Because Man United won 3 games in a row, and they were like 6 points behind Arsenal at the time. That they're now in a bloody title race. I don't get it. But back onto the game, right? I don't think, from what I could see, it was never a corner because
that you see there was actually
that's what it
corner.
looked like. That's the only angle I could see from behind. And for me, it didn't look like it was a corner. But again, the defending was absolutely abysmal. I didn't obviously see the Forest goals. I only saw the 2 Man United goals, in all fairness. But yeah, I think they conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes. Man United in the second half, and then obviously they got themselves back into the game. Which they could have won and they should have done. But as I said before, like if you are serious about, title races, you've got to be winning these
titles. If you're serious about finishing in the European places, you should be getting wins against Forest. This Forest side, before this game, hadn't scored a goal in the Premier League. Like, they hadn't scored in the last 4. This Forest side hasn't scored 2 goals since the beginning of the season in their first game against Brentford. This Forest side have lost all their home games this season, with the exception of the first game of the season against Brentford. And then you walk up to the City ground, and then boom, Forest hit you for 2. Like, Forest haven't fucking scored 2 since August the 18th, and then boom, they scored 2, and then you're kind of like trying to get back in the game. Fuck that. Has been here for almost a year. He's played 18 away Premier League games. Guess how many fucking wins he's had? 4. I can mention them for you because I have them up here in my head because that's what so they've won away games against Liverpool, which was where before Liverpool. The last time Amorim fucking got an away win was Leicester. Leicester are no longer in the Premier League. Before Leicester, it was Fulham, and before Fulham, it was City 2-1, where United won at the Etihad. 18 away Premier League games, you won only 4, and you're talking of the title race. They are stupid.
So that was an epic Man United rant. So now, Chooks, let's talk about Espirito Santo. He had a torrid time with Edu in Nottingham Forest, and he has come to West Ham. They're also in the trenches with Graham Potter. Well, in a couple of games he's played so far, you can see there's some level of identity he has brought to the club. but he finally got a win against Newcastle. What was your take on his game, and do you think he has what it takes to save West Ham this season?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he has everything in his locker to save West Ham. West Ham came out guns blazing today, looking for that result, and they got the result. Even though the second half was a bit, Newcastle, really meant to equalize in the second half. But despite the less possession in the second half, Newcastle really threatened. It was all West Ham, to be fair. Little chances created in the game. I think West Ham have enough to stay up. To be honest, the guys that just came back up, Leeds and Burnley, I think they'll go back.
Okay, awesome. So Coco, Newcastle is supposed to be a team in the Champions League, but when you look at their form in the Premier League, it has been quite inconsistent. Especially in away games, they've kind of really struggled a lot. This was another away game where they actually scored the first goal in the 4th minute from Jacob Murphy, sorry. But they went on to lose to West Ham, goes from Paqueta, the Botman on goal, unfortunate as it was, and Shusek. With this terrible away form they had, do you think they are certainly not going to make it to European places this season? Because if you remember, they lost in the final game of the season to Everton, but it was because of the fact that Nottingham Forest lost to Chelsea. That's how they managed to still stay in that spot. So looking at how their form has been this season, do you think, and like their current position, obviously, which is I think 13th, do you think they have what it takes to get back to Europe?
So here's the thing: Europe will take a toll on any team like Newcastle. They got there. They should enjoy it. It's probably not. I mean, they're supposed to have the quality, but I don't think a lot of things happened right for them. They were in this long tussle for their star player, which Newcastle would believe they are getting to that level where they'll be considered a top team. However, losing Isaac in the way that they did,
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfair on any team. They're still trying to recover from that. Yeah, Walter Made has come in and has made good impact. I think maybe the best transfer in impact of any player, yeah, in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah,
But
probably.
also, let's not forget they came up against the West Ham side, who we believe, I mean, had a new manager bounce. Remember, we discussed Nuno coming in and his impact on West Ham in some the previous forum we had.
Yeah.
We all predicted that West Ham will survive. Remember, it was bleak times then, and we knew that. I mean, we discussed the impact that Nuno is going to have on the West Ham team. I mean, West Ham is a big club. I mean, I think I saw somewhere where they have the record of the highest attendance. I
Yeah,
think they had the
consistently in the Premier League. Yeah.
attendance, not only in the Premier League, in all of Europe, actually.
More than things in Germany. No, those German
Yeah,
clubs, they will sell out though. Interesting.
it was said that they have. I saw the chart.
Oh,
West Ham was
awesome.
amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, in all of Europe. So, I mean, Nuno has got it. I expect that they are going to come good. Newcastle have felt the pinch. Some other teams will as well. I mean, sorry to digress to
Go
West
ahead,
Ham,
man.
but I wonder why so many teams sack Nuno. Nuno is a top coach.
Yeah, but I
Like
think when he was in Tottenham, he started well, but he kind of struggled a bit. As for the one in
Tottenham
Wolves, I
is
don't think his contract was renewed.
anomaly, bro.
Who didn't
Yeah.
who
Tottenham is
didn't
always
struggle
considered
in
an
What
anomaly.
was
Tottenham?
first?
Even
What was
Tottenham,
first?
even
Yeah, I agree,
let's
man. So
strike off his Tottenham record, please. Tottenham is defies the odds, when it comes to.
Talking about that West Ham game, please, can someone reach out to official FPL to tell them to give Bowen that assist? Like, for Christ's sake, Bowen,
Wait, he didn't get the assist?
he didn't get the assist. Like, he had a shot and, like, Bob,
Yeah, that should be his assist.
then it was called by Suchek, and FPL refused to give Bowen the assist.
No, they'll probably reverse that.
yeah, no, but then
decision,
again, now you know that sometimes even after the game week is over, they can still do some tweaks. So don't worry, they see a game
Yeah.
tomorrow, and that's what
No,
we're going to
no,
touch on
no,
right
no.
now. So Rory, let's talk Sunderland Everton. Sunderland has actually been quite impressive this season. I know the last time we spoke about Ebuka, did a very, very lovely breakdown of all their signings and what they've done. But let's look at it from an eye test perspective. Watching the games they've played so far, how impressed have you been? And do you think they have enough to defeat Everton tomorrow?
I think, to be fair, obviously Everton, let's be honest, they've not really been too great so far this season. After what was, I would say, a decent start from them in around August, but since Grealish won Player of the Month, they've just gone downhill, haven't they? I think with Sunderland's record at home so far this season, not just at home, but away from home, I think they've definitely over-exceeded expectations so far this season. So I could actually see Sunderland comfortably winning this game, if I'm being honest with you. So, yeah, like, obviously, Grealish has still been decent for Everton. Like, they've got players to watch out for, that's for sure, Everton. Like, Grealish has still had a major impact in that Everton team. But I think you look at the signing Sunderland have made. Obviously, Granit Xhaka has been the signing of the summer for me. Like, how much did they pay for him? 17 million, was it? By Leverkusen. So, like, it's actually mental that they managed to snatch him for 17 million. And he's come in and he's pretty much taken the captaincy, hasn't he? Which, again, like, if you would have told me that he was going to be captain again, whether that be in Arsenal or anyone else, then I would have laughed in your face, to be honest with you. But, you know, I think Sunderland will win this game comfortably. I don't see how Everton, the way they're playing at the moment, I don't see how they're going to pull through in this one. I really don't, because Sunderland are looking very strong at the moment.
Okay, so this is the part where we'll talk about our surprise of the week. So I'll go through my panelists. You just give me the incident or the game or the fixture that was basically ranked as a surprise to you. And I'll start with you, Ebuka. What is the surprise of this week?
Wow. My surprise of this week. Let me go through the games again.
And you all can be thinking while Ebuka is trying to cook.
Definitely, West Ham wasn't a surprise because I actually predicted West Ham to win 3-1. So it wasn't a surprise. I would say my surprise of the week would be, Fulham defeating Wolves. Actually, that's that because I actually felt Wolves would come out, especially from their last game, which I felt like the team spirit would be there. You understand? Which I think they had until the red card, and then Fulham winning 3-0. I mean, that's a surprise because Fulham doesn't win by that sort of margin, right? So Fulham winning 3-0 is kind of like a surprise for me, right? Despite it being Wolves, but yeah, huge surprise like Fulham winning by 3-goal margin.
Okay, Coco.
I think there's a clear winner. Man U being able to pull off Nottingham pulling off a draw. I mean, that draw was, I don't know. That was a surprise of the week.
That was a surprise, bro. Because I actually said there was no way United would win an away game under Amorim. Amorim doesn't win away game.
Man U pulling off the draw, sorry. Because...
Okay, Man U pulling off the draw. Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
Man U pulling off the draw.
Because we expected to lose that game.
Okay, what about you, Chicks?
For me, I think it was the Liverpool game, right? Because they're not in form. I thought Aston Villa was going to steal a draw in the game, because Villa looked like they were heading back towards form, right? That was the surprise of the week for me.
Rory.
Funnily enough, I'm actually thinking towards the Man City Liverpool game as well. To be fair, I've just got a feeling Liverpool will pull through in that one. I really do.
No.
Because I'm looking at
we're talking about this game week. That's next game week. This week. Was there any feature that was a surprise to you?
This week. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. The fact Liverpool actually won a game.
The L's have been too much.
To be fair, I did predict Villa to win that game. So.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually my surprise too, because I felt that someone like Emery would have done enough to at least get a result. I didn't see them losing entirely and even getting a clean sheet. Liverpool has been a team that everybody has been bagging goals against. Only to now come against Aston Villa and keep a clean sheet. All right.
It's the way it happened as well. I mean, with
Martinez back pass. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So let's do injury watch. So these were the injuries that happened in game week 10. So what we do here, pretty much, we look at these injuries and look at how it's going to impact the teams. We're speaking about Gyökeres, Daichi Kamada got injured, Douglas Luiz, Lucas Bevel, Pedro Neto, Alex Jimenez. Jimenez is a right back at Bournemouth, and of course Tyler Adams. So starting with you, Ebuka, which injuries here would you think would impact the team the most?
Daichi Kamada injured. Forest. Sorry, Palace.
Yeah.
Palace, that is a huge blow because Daichi Kamada could play either in one of the tens. Like he's a very good rotation option for them.
Yeah,
He
and
could
the
play one of
CM
the
as well.
10s,
That's
and
true.
he also partners Adam Wharton in midfield. And I think Wharton is kind of like injured, but I had like his training. Like who goes into that slot? Okay, Jefferson Lerma.
Yeah, and they will probably use Lemma and Will Hughes.
I think it will happen. Like Palace already have a thin squad, they have a small squad. So Kamada getting injured only adds to the worries that are already existing in terms of as in the squad availability and the players who might be. So yeah, that's a big one for Palace.
Okay, Coco.
Yeah, I'll go with the same. Victor Gyökeres is not really an injury worry, I think. So Daichi Kamada, and I think we discussed Palace's future, and the possibilities of injuries to key players affecting him a lot. So yeah, Daichi Kamada takes the
Chooks.
prize for
Like you said, I'm not sure most of these guys, like Begval, for example, was just concussion. Neto, I think he just had. Yeah, even Gyökeres, I don't think he's injured. Yeah, so maybe Kamada is just the standout pick here.
Rory?
Yeah, probably Kamada, to be fair. I think I've been quite impressed with how he's been playing this season. With Gyökeres, if he is injured, then maybe it's him, because again, we don't have any like recognised fit striker. Like, saw the difference
when Merino came
between
on,
the first half, second half, when Gyökeres was on the pitch, and then in the second half we sort of took our foot off the gas. So maybe like if Gyökeres is actually injured, then it will probably be him. But if I'm excluding Gyökeres, and I'm not sure if Subamendi's injured as well, to be fair, because he had a muscular issue. So I'll probably say, yeah, Kamada out of all of them, if I had to choose one, or maybe Bergwell.
Okay, cool. So now we're going to go to the last section of today's video, where we look at the Premier League table. We're basically going to see the teams that are in the bottom half and predict the ones that are going to go to the top half. And when we go to the top half, we predict the ones that go to the bottom half. So starting with you, Ibuka, who do you think is going to go to the top half in this list here?
Okay, so looking at as in the next week fixture, I think the people that will climb into the top half of the table, looking at the next game week, I would say Villa, because I think their next game is against Bournemouth. So I'm expecting Villa to at least come away with 3 points in that game. Yeah, I'm expecting Villa to come away with 3 points in that game. So I see Villa moving into 18 points. Besides Villa, not really, because the gap between, let's say, Brentford and the top half of the table is probably 3 points, and then Newcastle probably need 4 points to get into the top half. So I think, yeah, it's going to be Villa.
Okay. Coco?
The mathematics just adds up. It can only be Villa at this point.
Yeah, but then again, if you think they're not going to be there too, you can also say that. Are you confident they're going to be there?
Who, Aston Villa? At the top half? Against Brentford. Against who?
Bournemouth.
What are they playing?
Bournemouth,
sorry. They are playing at home. I mean, they're playing home or away.
They're home.
Villa is at home.
They will probably scale through. I feel Bournemouth is going to. I mean, I think their star player is suffering a bit. Well, they played against City, so you can't really call that suffering.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really been prolific lately, has he?
No, not really. Since that 18 points against Fulham, nah.
And then they have this Krupi guy that is that feels effective, in my opinion. I saw some strikes he had. If Aston Villa are plagued with the problems they currently have, which we discussed, I'm going to switch my thought process to them retaining. I think there's going to be an upset.
Okay.
Now that I think,
Chooks?
yeah, I think.
Is this for this game week, or who would think will scale through this season.
No, you can be this game. It can be this season.
Yeah,
but just give your thoughts behind your.
Okay,
your
for this,
process.
if it's this game week, then yeah, because of the points Villa already have accumulated.
Okay, but what about the season?
Or for the season, maybe Newcastle, especially if they are able to leave that Champions League early enough, right? Because
okay. So before I get to Rory, Ebuka and Coco, what about this season? Newcastle too, or just
this season?
Mm-hmm.
This season, of course, yeah, Newcastle should finish in the top half of the table this season. Villa should finish in the top half, yeah, this season.
What about you, Coco?
Who's in the top half of the table, by the way?
We'll get there in the next slide.
Okay. No. Newcastle. Newcastle, if I want to do to Newcastle and Brentford.
Okay. Rory?
Yeah, I think that.
I'd probably say, well, in terms of next week, I reckon Brentford will actually reach top half because they've got Newcastle at home. So the way they're performing in the Premier League, I can actually see Brentford going up into around 10th or 9th. I don't think they'll be there come the end of the season, though. I reckon. I think Aston Villa, perhaps Newcastle, will get top half come the end of the season. But come the end of, I would say next week, yeah, I think Brentford will actually reach at least top half.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Awesome. So back to you, Ibuka. We're going to do next week and end of season. So who's going to drop from here next week and end of season?
In the coming week, United is going to drop. Because no. We can't defeat Spurs. Spurs is going to defeat us at at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, they're going to defeat us there. So
sorry. Does anybody have that bet with Achike that they're not going to lose till January? Who?
It was.
No, the last time Achike was in the stream, he said openly that he's going to take a bet with anyone.
No, I think he took it with the other guy. What's
oh my god! I wish I was on that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because
Chike was so confident.
He was quite confident that I'm not going to lose any game till January.
I'm going to bet that United are going to lose 3 games before January.
No, he said they're not going to lose any game till January.
Now, I'm going to tell him that.
I think he said drop any points.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to counter his bet. Because.
Is it drop points?
No.
Your points was.
I'm sorry. Amorim doesn't know how to get results away from home. And now you're playing the Spurs side who just lost to Chelsea and would be baying for blood. So, what is going to happen? I'm looking at this table. I see Palace. Palace is going to defeat Brighton, right? Mm-hmm. Which then gets Palace above United, right? Or even if it's a draw, then Villa, I'm looking at Villa defeating Bournemouth, right? Easily sends United into 11th position.
Okay, Coco.
Yeah, I was going to say United.
Okay, Jukes.
Probably drop, but Arsenal is playing Sunderland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's either one of United or Sunderland, but I don't think other teams will win enough games to come up because Sunderland has a positive goal difference of 4. So probably United.
Okay, Rory.
Probably. It's actually quite difficult, to be fair. Probably say Man United as well, to be fair.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're in the final section of today's stream. It's been fun with you guys. This is where we make our predictions. I didn't have the time to get the one from last game week. We're going to lump them together with this one in the next stream. So we'll start with you, Ebuka. Spurs, Man United.
Spurs United.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs 2, United 0.
Coco.
Spurs United.
Mm-hmm.
3-1.
Chooks.
2-2.
Rory.
That's going to be 0-0.
Ebuka, Everton, Fulham.
So this is the game I think Everton would recover from their loss to Spurs at the Hill Dickinson. So it's going to be Fulham is definitely not going to score. So it's Everton 2, Fulham 0.
Coco.
I think Fulham will actually score to be 2-1.
Chooks.
Another score draw.
Rory.
2-0 Everton.
West Ham, Burnley. Ebuka.
You know what? You know this game. I just had that feeling that this is the game Bowen, who's on my FPL team, is going to score a hat trick. So, so it's probably going to be West Ham 4, Burnley 1.
Interesting. Coco.
4-0, West Ham. Yeah, they're going to run riot.
So I'm telling you.
Yeah, Chooks.
Yeah, West Ham win. Maybe
Scores.
2-1.
Rory.
1-1.
Oh, nice. Sunderland, Arsenal, Ebuka.
This is Arsenal, another clean sheet. Usual. Like, let's just get it going. Sunderland 0, Arsenal 2.
Coco.
So here's the thing: Zaka is going to score, so it's going to be 1-2.
Yeah, the old Captain Hunting is.
That would be epic. And we celebrate.
He won't. He definitely won't. But he will score.
Yeah, that script I just come to play. Yeah, exactly.
Chooks.
I mean, I think Sunderland scores, so yeah, maybe 1-2.
Rory.
I'm going 1-0 Arsenal.
Awesome. Chelsea, Wolves, Ebuka.
The new manager bounce. Chooks, I'm sorry, man. The new manager bounce. You know how it always goes. The new manager bounce. It's good. And I see it being, and you know the credited. Oh, what's that his name? Strand Larson, right? He hasn't scored all season. Chelsea is going to be the first team he's going to score. I'm telling you, it's written. New manager bounce. And it's going to end 2-2.
2-2. Okay. Coco.
Yeah, I don't think anything fantastic will happen for Wolves. It's going to be 3-0.
Chooks.
We'll win for sure.
Scores.
Maybe 3-1.
Rory.
3-0 Chelsea.
Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Ebuka.
Yeah, like I said, this game is going to be tightly contested, and I think it's like end-to-end 3-2 Villa.
Coco.
Bournemouth will win. Villa will lose 1-3.
Chooks.
Score draw 2-2.
Rory.
I'm going to say 3-1 Bournemouth.
Brentford, Newcastle, Ebuka.
The Brentford are just formidable at home. I think their record, they've won 3, lost 1, draw 1. They're playing a Newcastle side who's going to be Champions League exertions. Brentford to nick this one, I think, and Brentford is going to win by 2-1.
Coco.
It's going to be tight. I think it's going to be 1-0 to Brentford.
Chooks.
Another score draw.
Score draw.
Score draw 2-2.
I'm going to go 2-0 Brentford.
Okay. Ebuka, Crystal Palace, Brighton.
This is going to be tight, really tight. But I think, Palace should see this one off. And the reason being that I know they're playing in Europe, but they're playing at home. So I think Palace is going to win this 2-1. Ismail Assar to get a goal.
Awesome. Coco.
Your FPL team.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Brighton don't do so well away from home. So Palace will take it. Probably 3-1.
Chooks.
Yeah, I think Palace wins 2-0.
Rory.
I'll go Palace 2-1.
Nottingham Forest, Leeds, Ebuka.
So Sean Dyche, he hasn't lost at home, and Leeds are terrible away. It's going to be Forest to Leeds 0.
Coco.
1-0 to Forest.
Chooks.
2-1.
Rory.
It's going to be 3-0 Forest.
Final game, Man City, Liverpool, Ebuka.
Okay. So this is the game where City are just going to come out all guns blazing because Liverpool has been conceding goals and goals and goals. I think yesterday was their first clean sheet in their last 11 games.
Yeah.
So, Haaland would run riot. City 4, Liverpool 1.
Wow.
Coco.
Wow. Let me soak that in. Well, I think Liverpool is going to grow in confidence. I feel it's going to be a score draw, 2-2.
Is that the rival talking now? You want your rivals to
I tried to be so unbiased on this one, you know.
No, that's you being biased actually.
I tried to be
That's wishful thinking. Anyways,
no,
I think City wins this one. Maybe 3-1, 2-1.
Yeah, Rory.
I don't know. I've got a feeling that Liverpool will win this. You know, I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool.
Liverpool win? Whoa!
Yeah, I don't know why. I just got a horrible feeling that Liverpool will win this game.
Whoa!
it's
Okay,
not it's a nice feeling
So
actually.
what fun fact, right? So Haaland became the third player to score 2 or more goals in 4 consecutive home games.
Oh yeah, quick question. Okay, before that blank against Villa, was he chasing that Vardy's record?
He was.
Yeah, he was.
That blank was the only blank he has had all season.
Exactly.
No, he had a blank against Tottenham
He had the blank
when he lost 2-0.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was
Gameweek
against
2, I remember.
the game. He was actually going for it, but yeah, Villa.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
But yeah,
so
this is a 4th successive home game in which, and he's the third player to score 2 or more goals, and this is the 4th. So, who are the other 2 players who have scored 2 or more goals in 4 or more consecutive home games?
Andy Cole.
Aguero,
Wrong.
Thierry Henry.
Okay, I need a hint, please.
Wow.
Okay. Both of them are actually Liverpool players.
Suarez.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that's
One.
me.
Owen.
Nope.
Liverpool players. Come on now. They don't have more strikers like that.
Storage.
Nope.
Oh my God. Wait.
2 or more. Like
Fowler.
yeah, Robbie Fowler.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie Fowler. 2 or more
Okay, guys.
consecutive home games.
So this is the part where we'll just do a quick wrap up of the game week in your own words. So I'll start with you, Ebuka.
Yeah, so yeah.
How was game week 10 to you?
Game week, United fans kind of like thought we were in the title race, but yeah, they've been brought down to earth, which is something I expected. The fact that, I mean, yeah, you should look at the data, right? You should look at the data. The first thing you need to look at is United, the first 15 teams on the table currently. United has considered the highest number of goals in the first 15 teams. So you can't be saying that, right? And yeah, they've come down to earth to understand, yeah, they've never been in the title race. It's more about Europe. And I'm not sure we're going to make it under Amorim. I mean, that's just it. But yeah, it's a game where West Ham has actually come back fighting, and they are hopefully probably by next week we see them out of the relegation zone. So it's a relegation battle, and it's the battle for Europe.
Awesome, Coco.
Yeah, I was going to discuss. I mean, West Ham, and it's too easy to have an Arsenal discussion. Yeah, but
Exactly.
Yeah. West Ham is going to have more offsets than any other team. Obviously, I mean, they're at the bottom of the table, but they're going to really make good. They'll come into the top half and they'll stay in there. Liverpool, it's going to be shaky for Liverpool. I think the title race come the end of December would have City and Arsenal more as a fixture than the Liverpool game. Salah is going for African Nations Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's next month. That's in
December, yes.
Yeah. So, but sorry, Arsenal is going to be top of the league most times, most months.
I told someone, right, that if there's a place I could actually, as in bet or wager money, Arsenal is going to be at the top of the table come till the end of the season. They're going down. Just tell me, and I'm ready to wager my money.
This is the season. This is the season.
They're going to stay.
Rory doesn't like to go forward, you know, but I'm on that cautious part as well, but it's becoming
There's
glaring.
nothing to be cautious. It's clear, crystal clear. The European leaders are not considered in Europe. Like literally, someone said the other day that as in the challenge Atletico put forward to Arsenal, that even Brentford will put on the stiffer challenge. Like
Nogat came in, right? Nogat came in and basically it was a goal threat, so it's hard to see. I think the weakest point in the Arsenal team is actually the up top, where
enough.
If the injury was much, then but Arsenal is up there.
My final words. it's Arsenal seasons to lose. So yeah, that's it. That's what we've learned in the first 10 game weeks of the season, and I feel like anybody who's going to finish above us now will win the title, and that's nobody. So congratulations once again, guys.
Okay, so I'm guessing we should get ready for the parade now in Islington, right? Rory, final thoughts on Gameweek 10?
Well, basically, I've just watched my team pick up another clean sheet and score from another set piece. What do you want me to say?
And that clean sheet, right? I think this is the first time Arsenal is as in winning. They're winning with 4 consecutive clean sheets. And I saw it somewhere, I think since 2013-14 season, when Arteta was still playing for the team.
Yeah.
And see the funny thing.
Yeah.
Arsenal actually had 17 goals, right? And were the lowest in terms of goals conceded before Mourinho broke that record with 15 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm guessing we need to get our record back. But to play the entire season and concede 15 goals, that is mental.
That's mental, man.
How?
Yeah.
6 goals at home, 9 goals away. That's a record to beat.
Feels like it's possible. But here's the thing, right? Raya isn't busy at all. It's funny.
I think Rory said that he went to appeal for his work from home request.
Yeah.
His manager has been mad at him.
He's not busy at all. He's not.
Raya should work from home.
I think I saw it.
That's crazy, man.
He went into the opposition half and took it just because he needed to be warm. You know what I mean? So it's just ridiculous.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Thank you so much. As always, it's always fun having you guys on this channel, just talking Premier League, talking football. You guys are awesome. So all the people that are on the chat, thanks so much for being here with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find Rory on his own channel, Red RD. So what's your plan this week, Rory?
Not much really.
Just more clean sheets,
Yeah, a couple of match reactions here and there. Obviously, we play midweek in the Champions League, so obviously I'll be covering that game, and then I might have a show tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. And then obviously covering the weekend's game against Sunderland. So that's about it, really.
Awesome. The content never stops, man. So, guys, thank you so much for being here again. I always love having you guys on the channel. And, of course, I'm going to check your predictions and see how many of you failed again, because you guys are horrible Nostradamuses. All right, man. So, do have a good
weekend. It's okay.
All
right, guys. Have a good one, man.
Cheers,
bro.
I'll be looking out for the score draws.
Yeah. The score draws. All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, cheers.